All right. So I got that weed eater off of eBay, and it needed work on or whatever. It was sold as is. So I got it. Come with this attachment, and so uh, the fuel lines was gunked up. Primer bulb was or purge bulb was cracked and all that crap. So the carburetor was junk. So I went and got a $10 carburetor off eBay and replaced it, and that runs perfect. The issue is the attachment. All right, the attachment didn't come with the cable down in it, and you can't get the cables. So, uh, and to tell you what happened here, this little piece right here, that was the tip of it, was inside this part right here. So it was inside of it, and when I went, because what I was planning on doing was getting two pieces of flex drive that wasn't the right length, and basically create one long enough to fit in that. So what I ended up doing was I had I think it's 3/16 inch aircraft cable. It's like twisted cable, and I fed it down in that hole right there until it bottomed out down here at the head. The problem was when I measured it, that was 27 inches. I thought, all right, that's 27 inches. It just don't have a cable in it. So as long as I can make one 27 inches, then it should fit in it. Well, it didn't work because this was broke off down in there. So while it was 27, should have been 28. That was keeping it from going on down in there. So this piece right here is 27. I made that, welded it together. I need to finish welding it and then grind it off a little bit. My problem is when I made that for 27, it ain't gonna work. So what it ended up doing is getting another piece of this, because I don't have two others that are where I could have just one weld. So I brought this out one more inch roughly, and I taped it so it doesn't move. I'm going to take my angle grinder cutoff wheel. I'm going to cut that right there. Then I'm going to use from this point on and weld it to this piece right here, and that will make 28 inches. That'll be long enough to go down through there, because there's some places that sell the attachment itself, and it's bullshit, because they were selling it for like $70 to $80 for the whole thing, and then they would it wouldn't tell you the shipping, but the shipping was like they were trying to get $40 out of it. If you're going to pay $120 for an attachment, you could buy a brand new freaking trimmer for that amount. And so anyway, that's what I'm doing with that. So I'm not going to cut this on camera, but I'm going to cut it with my angle grinder and a cutoff. I think I need to change that out. I might try to cut it with that. I used it the other day, and I don't know if it's got, I might be able to. So I'm going to cut that, and then I'll be back. All right, so I got it cut. So I'm going to move it about right there. Let's see. So 28 inches. All right, so I got to remove that tape, and then I have to bring those two pieces together and kind of tack weld it like I did this one here. I'm not going to be doing that on video either, because I think you can't really record it. It can mess up your camera on the phone, but so I need to separate this and get rid of this one here so I don't get them confused again or get them mixed up. All right, I got this taped to a piece of straight fiberglass kind of a thing, and that's just to keep that together right there while I try to weld it. I need to point out that this welding this can only work in this straight end. So you got about that much to work with from the point where it goes in like this direction. You can't do it in a curve because your weld will not allow it to flex. So you just got to make sure wherever your welds are on that piece is before it gets to this where it starts turning. Okay, so now I have it tack welded. Should be all right for that anyway. I'm gonna put it on the grinder, take some of that excess off. Hopefully my phone don't fall off of here. It's a vibration. Oop. It's not the prettiest, but it should work. I'm gonna put some grease on it before I stick it in that shaft. Okay. Just put a pretty good amount. Okay. All right, let me twist the head to see if it's all the way down in there. Looks like it is. Oh, come on. All right. Unfortunately, yesterday, that last clip, uh, the torque, I guess, it broke the weld because it wasn't a very good weld. It wasn't all the way through. And so I just re-welded it again, and I already did the grinding on it. I'm thinking it'll probably work. I got to put grease on that again. So let me set the phone down real quick. I had to take the grease off to weld it. Drop it back down in there again. Okay, it's down in the groove. All right. Set this down for a second. All right. See what it does. Well, it's working. There's probably a better way of doing that, but at least I could use it to trim. I got that Walmart brand Heart freaking battery thing. It sucks. And batteries, you can't get much out of it. And then you got to recharge it, and it takes hours. And that's what I've been using because my other gas trimmer went down. So that's what you got to do if you have a missing shaft, a broken shaft. And you can still get cables, you just can't get the right length. You have to make it yourself. Anyway, that's it. Later.